4 of fruits of the Spirit. This would be love for others. I think this is the one that we're struggling with it culturally right now. Loving others. So I'll start with the first one. So forgiveness. And I know this is a hard one. This one strikes the soul for a lot of people. They struggle with forgiving people, but we have to. We're called to. If we're expecting forgiveness from our Creator, we have to forgive our brother and our sisters. It's not even like it's a it's a command. It's a command. How can you expect God to forgive you if you can't forgive somebody for something? Because ultimately, every sin or every disobedience, every rebellious behavior we ever commit is against God. Even when we do it against somebody else, like another human person, it's ultimately to God. Because what you're saying when you devalue somebody or dehumanize someone, you're telling God that person is garbage. And when you created him, you made a mistake. That is what you're saying. Whenever we dehumanize somebody or commit a sin towards somebody or lie on somebody, we are devaluing that person. And that's telling God that we don't care about them, and that's telling God that he shouldn't have made them. And who are we to command God to in any regard in that matter? So that's number one. Forgiveness. You need to forgive the person, not just for yourself, but for them as well. It's for a double-edged sword there. And so that's one part. The other part of love for others is that and this bothers me because I see it, but I know there's a reason why there's a decent reason for people who film themselves helping others. I understand that for some of those people, it's to motivate other people to give or to help others charity-wise. I'm not too. I can't do it. I can't film myself helping somebody because for me, it devalues the whole concept. Like, I want this to be a personal thing between me and this person that I help, regardless with the circumstances. I don't need to have it publicized, and not for the reason why people think like I don't want someone in their business or whatever. It's just that I feel like it's a personal uh, interaction. It's something that I find joy in myself, and I really don't want to share it with somebody, which sounds selfish, but I don't. I want to be able to help somebody and have that feeling that I can sit in with myself. Like, and that person too, it's like to see that they know that I am helping them from the bottom of my heart. I really want to see them grow and succeed, and I want to see them thrive, and I don't want to see them hurting or suffering. It's like between me and this person. It's not for anybody else to sit there and be like, oh, not saying that is wrong. For some people, the intention is the important part. If your intention of helping somebody is because you want to be famous or you want a pat on your back, you want people to pat you on the back and be like, good job. That's wrong. That's bad intentions, and your gift is right there from what the scripture says, instead of your treasure being in heaven. I so I do know that some people, like I said, are doing it because they want to motivate other people, but sometimes it undervalues um, that gift, that action that you're doing. So serving others without needing credit is it's love for others. That's part of the good fruits that you bear whenever you follow Christ, whenever you're taking this journey and when you're making this walk. Compassion's another thing. So when you show compassion to people, it's and not just and I know I hate that I have to even do this in this day age. Not over compassion, not over empathy. What we mean is like compassion to the point that you can place yourself not just in that person's shoes, but you can help them uh, in a spiritual way. That it's not over empathy that you excuse a sinful behavior, but it's compassion in a way. It's like, hey, look, come here. Let me give you something that will help you with that pain. His name is Christ. Let me help you with this. Then you can add the thing. This is part of the whole helping somebody or giving help with somebody with charity and stuff. But it's also like here's charity, a physical thing, and here's bread for the spirit. It's bread for your body and bread for your spirit. Compassion. We tend to forget one side or the other whenever we're dealing with that. Whenever we're helping other people, we give them the physical. We satisfy their physical needs without helping their spirit, and the spirit is more important than the physical, I would argue. Now, that doesn't say just disregard the physical altogether, because people do need to eat, people do need to drink, people do need clothes, they need housing, they need to survive. We're supposed to help others in need, but we also need to feed their spirit, because a man can't live on bread alone. Okay, so that's also bearing good fruit. Speaking truth with grace, which that tied into what I said earlier about feeding them more than just bread, feed their spirit. We need to be graceful whenever we're showing compassion and when a person is dealing with a sinful behavior, especially coming from a person who had an addiction. I was a meth addict for 15 years. It Some people excused my behavior uh, without giving me the grace of truth. And so I went to rehab, and rehab talked about a higher power and stuff, and it helped me some, but it still was missing the mark when it came to giving me the truth, giving me truth. And I ultimately believe that my salvation, my growth, my deliverance from addiction came from Christ, me giving my life to Christ. And certain people in my life speaking to me in that regard, telling me that, hey, look, man, it's not just an addiction problem. You have to replace that addiction with something else. Because now when you step away from that, you have this hole. And addiction, what it is trying to fill a God-shaped vacuum in your life with material things. And everything in this universe, in this reality, is finite, which means that the vacuum that's in your body that's godlike is infinite and eternal, and it's always needing substance. And so if your substance is what's feeding that is what you're using for that God-shaped vacuum, you run out of that substance. Either the resources run out, or the resource it's feeding in your body will deplete. And, I'm using drugs as example because I know this personally, but it's more than just drugs. I mean, we need to detox from a lot of different things, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, fruits of the spirit is speaking truth with grace. So you have a blessed day.